as we get into AI and it gets better and better, um, ChatGPT I use right now is the 5.1. I have the paid version. Um, it knows me, it knows my business, it knows all the things I'm trying to do. And I could, at this point, I could go into a new chat and say, hey, create this document for my business. And it would probably do it because it knows me. Now, you've got to train your AI to know you. You can't just type in, hey, I want this, right? It's always better to get that training into it. So what do you do to train your AI? Any documents about your business you've already created, you need to put it into AI. So you go to ChatGPT and say, I want to build a profile for my business so that you can better help me. Here is a list of documents I'm attaching, right? So you attach your vision, mission, your values of your organization, and maybe some marketing stuff you've already put in, that you've tried to create for your business and things like that, right? A list of your services and even what's in each of your services. I do XYZ, and this is what you get for that service, right? So you basically, all the stuff that would be on your about page for your business website, just copy and paste that into ChatGPT. Here's my vision, my mission, my values, right? And maybe you're putting some info about yourself. This is me, this is my history, this is my resume. You need your business to know who you are. Now, something I've really found is really neat is that I have taken the transcripts from these lives and I've added them to ChatGPT. And I'm using it to help me create show notes for the next show. So I've got a different theme each day of the week, and I show it last week's show notes or transcript. So when I post everything to YouTube, it takes a couple days to a couple hours for it to auto-generate the transcript for you. So if you did one show last week on one theme, whatever your last live was, or even your last video you've created, if you're creating content, or every post you did this past week on whatever social medias or whatever, you're putting the transcript in there. And once YouTube creates the transcript, you go into edit captions. And then when you're in there, there's all the words it's translated into English from the video. And now you just copy and paste that whole thing and you put that into ChatGPT. The interesting thing about when I've got this really, what am I looking for? It's not professional. It's not polished. It is really more me, rough, unpolished, right? And I got my silly jokes mixed in. I got the way I speak and everything. As soon as I put that into ChatGPT, it started acting differently towards me because it now knows how I speak, what I speak about is very cool. Very, very cool. It was such a night and day because it was acting very professional. And then after it read a couple of the transcripts of my shows, my live shows, it started joking with me. It was giving me different suggestions and things like that. And I got scared because sometimes your AI is super positive and it says you're on the right track, keep doing what you're doing, here's some things to improve. Sometimes you have to remind your chat GPT, your AI, to be honest. If it thinks I've missed something, I've told it now to let me know if I'm missing something, if there's some data on the topic that I'm missing, right? I told it, you should correct me and let me know. What you also want to do after you feed all this stuff in about your business, you could tell it, can you please do a deep dive into my industry and tell me what the trends are, or tell me if I've missed something that's happening in my industry. You're giving it as much information as you can, and you're getting it to do additional research, and it'll research on the internet. So, but training your AI, I think, is so important. You could just train it in your HR policies, or you could train it in all your policies organization wide, right? You could even put in your safety policies, whatever, and have it train and say, I'm creating a new policy on XYZ. Can you please make me a 2-paragraph policy that would fit into my current policy book, which you've already read? So it'll create the policy for you. And if you've directed it to say, to correct you if there's something it feels you're missing out, then it'll say something like, oh, if you're going to do this policy, you should also do this policy. Your AI will become your assistant on creating drafts for your organization, maybe helping you identify future issues, so you're ready for a certain crisis in your industry or whatever, right? You can just start feeding this information into it, feeding industry statistics for your industry. If you can get into Statistics Canada and try to download that data. Sometimes it's a little different. You kind of got to become an expert with the Statistics Canada website to get the data that you really want. But if you can get that data for your industry and plug this in, and like, am I on track, ChatGPT? Am I doing the business the way it should be done? Am I missing anything? You stop being a sole owner, operator, to having an AI teammate with you. And there's just so many things that it's able to discover and point out to me. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Oh, there's just so much stuff. Like I said, I'd spoken about taking all my blogs. I used a special app on my website. I use WordPress on my website. So I downloaded a special app, and it allowed me to download all my blogs into one PDF document. I've been kind of busy lately, but I want to feed that into ChatGPT to help me think of new ideas. But it's my content. I've written this stuff, these 51 blogs that comes to 308 pages worth of data. This is my content. I've written it. So now I can use it to, I don't know, create a new small ebook that I can give away or sell or something, right? I've already done the work. This is my stuff. I could feed it in and say, ChatGPT, can you research the HR consulting industry or the HR industry? Are there any topics that are really important that I haven't written about yet? right? And it's got all my blogs. It's got all my transcripts from my most recent lives and stuff like that. Like it could find the next big topic for me, which I could talk about in a live. It would create some shorts for it. I could actually make a long form video that's like 8 to 10 minutes long. And then I could also just turn that into a blog post, and the blog post would link to the video. I mean, so if you're not doing something to try to make your business easier for you, if you're trying to set up a new business or whatnot, oh my God, there's just so many documents and policies that you can throw into something and say, create me this. And then you take that draft and you go get it approved by your team. Like, things can be fast. I love the comparison. If you have two policies or two documents that are meant to work together in synergy or whatever you want to call it, you put them both into ChatGPT and you say, can you compare these two documents? Are they working together? Is there any areas where they work against each other? Where is there anything that needs to get fixed? Or is there any way to make each of these documents even better? Right? Like, put that in there. You'll see this compare and contrast come up, and then it'll say, look, these are the issues that they match up on, but these are the issues that they're disagreeing each other with. So you might have a document that's already a policy document, it's already approved. You have to make sure that this new one you're creating doesn't counteract the approved one, right? You want to make sure they work together. I did a cool thing as part of training my AI last week. I call my AI Byte. I decided my AI needs a name, and it gave me a list of names that it might be interested based on our interactions, right? So I call it Byte. My ChatGPT is now called Byte. And this is kind of a homage to my early career as a computer technician and website designer, stuff like that, right? And my interest in technology and things like that, and my love of the movie Hackers, right? So it kind of all comes in there. But I asked ChatGPT, do you know the Hackers Manifesto? And it's kind of made famous from the Hackers movie because they were talking about it, and they read a little bit about it. The cops were like mocking the hackers and things like that, right? And it said yes. I can't repeat it verbatim because it is copywritten, but here's the highlights. And I told it, when it's concerning my business and anything I do in HR, I want the spirit of the Hacker Manifesto integrated into everything you give me, so that sense of community and curiosity and sharing, I mean, that from the Hacker Manifesto is now embedded in my use of ChatGPT moving forward. And I think that's just so wicked cool. Oh man, find your favorite thing, what makes you feel good about your business or what you're doing, kind of harnesses the spirit of who you are and how you operate in the world, right? Find that cool document, that poem, I don't care what it is, right? Put it in there and tell ChatGPT, hey, this is me, this is my underlying base soul, everything, like this is where it should come from, right? I think I think you'll see some interesting results.